Hey everyone, I just got off the phone with Angela, who's an independent practice pediatric urologist, believe it or not. She posted a question in the Thriving Urology Practice Facebook group, and I thought it's probably better to answer that via a Zoom. Unfortunately, I messed up on my end and my audio was not good enough, so I figured I would just give you a summary of our discussion. We talked about modifier 25, not modifier 57, and I also share something about independent historian. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is John Lin. I'm a urologist here in Gilbert, Arizona, also your humble host of the Thriving Urology Practice Facebook group. For those of you who are watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. And for those of you who are watching this on Facebook, on the replay, give us a like. It would help spread the word and make sure this video gets viewed so that we can educate more people. Let's get right into it. Her question, she's a pediatric urologist. Her question is, when a new patient comes in and I see the baby who has phimosis or some other penile issue, and the decision was then made after going through the history, obtaining information from the parent, the decision is then made that yes, the patient is a suitable candidate for circumcision. Now, the parents say, okay, well, I want to have this done today. Can we get it done? Of course, we can certainly get it done. Now, the question is, what about coding and billing? How do you deal with that, right? Can you use a modifier and bill for the E&M service and the performance of circumcision? And if that's the case, which modifier would you use? Great questions and very, very common. So we'll keep in mind that circumcision is a 10-day global procedure, not a 90-day global procedure. That's really important to know. I started by telling Angela that we need to understand what's included in the global package of a circumcision. It could be a circumcision, cystoscopy, it doesn't matter. Lupron injection, it doesn't matter. What's included is making sure that the patient is okay to undergo the procedure, taking of the vital signs, and also performance of the procedure, getting the instruments together and making sure all the supplies are together when doing the procedure, and also giving post-op instructions. Okay, so that's all included in the performance of the procedure, in the CPT code of the procedure. What is not included is when you are seeing the patient as a brand new patient, you have no history on the patient. You see the patient, then you do the examination, pertinent examination, and then you come up with a treatment plan. That could be medical therapy, it could be observation, it could be circumcision. So that portion is significant and separately identifiable. And you should make that the case in your documentation as well. When you see the patient in Angela's situation scenario, when you see the patient as a new patient, you talk to the family, give them the treatment options, and then the decision is made to undergo circumcision on the same day as the E&M service. That clearly is a modifier 25 event. And why modifier 25? Well, first of all, the service is significant and separate, distinctly identifiable from the circumcision itself in this case. Okay? You have to make sure the documentation is appropriate. Secondly, why modifier 25? Why not 57? Well, modifier 57 definition is modifiers to be used to indicate an evaluation and management service that resulted in the initial decision to perform surgery either the day before a major surgery with a 90-day global, there's the key, or the day of a major surgery. So the day before, the day of a major surgery, which in this case means 90-day global. If a decision was made to perform a 90-day global procedure, and you perform that procedure that same day or the next day, then you would use a modifier 57. However, in Angela's case, you would use a modifier 25 because it's a 10-day global. Circumcision is a 10-day global. So the appropriate E&M service will be reported with the modifier 25 appended to it, and then the code for in-office circumcision. So that's the answer to her question. And it's not some other scenario that we were thinking about, because for most adult urologists, you're thinking about a procedure that you already scheduled, you perform the procedure such as a cystoscopy, and then you find something unusual such as a urethral stricture, bladder tumor, or whatever, or enlarged prostate, and then you decide to have surgery. And depending on the type of surgery, the discussion will ensue, but that is usually an E&M service that's conducted after a CPT. In Angela's case, it's E&M service provided before, which led to decision for a procedure. So anyway, some subtle differences, but the bottom line is, in her situation, is a 10-day global procedure. She provides an E&M service before, and it's significant and separately identifiable. So she should code a modifier 25 for that particular situation. All right. We also talked about something else, and that is she's a pediatric urologist. So I'm always empathetic to my peds colleagues, because they don't have, they're not able to perform a lot of procedures in the office like we can with adults. That said, I asked her about, do you know what is the definition of an independent historian? Because it matters to my peds colleagues, as most of their kids, a lot of their kids, not most, a lot of their kids require a parent to provide a history. And I have heard this, including this weekend, that you shouldn't count the parent giving a history as an independent historian. And we're talking in a data section. We're talking about independent, we're talking about we're talking about assessment requiring an independent historian or historians. Someone from the AUA said that independent historian, you cannot count the parent as an independent historian. I beg to differ, and Mark Painter agrees with me. Let me read you the definition of an independent historian. This is according to the AMA on, this is page 7 of the CPT E&M 2021 guidelines. So the name of the article is called CPT Evaluation and Management Office or Other Outpatient and Prolonged Services Code and Guideline Changes effective January 1st, 2021. If you look on page 7 of the handout, let me pull this up here. So if you look at page 7 on top, independent historian, an individual, for instance, parent, guardian, surrogate, spouse, witness, who provides a history in addition to a history provided by the patient who is unable to provide a complete or reliable history, for instance, due to developmental age, dementia, or psychosis, or because a confirmatory history is judged to be necessary. So that is the definition of an independent historian, straight from the horse's mouth. So you tell me, when they say, for example, parent, and for example, due to developmental stage, if an infant or baby would not qualify when a parent provides information, would that not qualify it as an independent historian? My interpretation of that statement by the AMA is that yes, it would qualify as an independent historian, and you should count that as a data point in the data section of your E&M service. So anyway, if you disagree, let me know in the comments, and I would love to hear about your reasoning, and I hope that the AUA can make some corrections in what they tell everyone, because I disagree with their interpretation, and I think if you read the AMA definition, they would also disagree. All right, take care, have a good one, be well, and code correctly, know the rules, play the game, and be happy. Bye-bye.